What's going on, believers? Saitama is starting to make moves. You are starting to see it. Islam Makhachev is now a sponsor in the UFC of Saitama. And then to cap it off yesterday, John Salley from the bad boy Detroit Pistons said that he doesn't endorse any crypto unless he's paid in Saitama. It's not financial advice, but I'm always right.
I can't wait till Friday. Everybody's getting sideways.
All right, believers, if you're not a member, join my membership channel. It's $4.99 a month. I release a video a day or a video every other day where I make some calls and we look at some of the tokens that I think are going to move in short order. If you want to be ahead of the game, then follow me, and that's how you get there. $4.99 a month. Don't FOMO. All right, guys, I know what you're saying. If Saitama has catalysts that are happening, why are we sitting at 1902? Why is there no gigantic pump? Well, the point to it is, if you look at the chart, starting with the moment that Islam Makhachev announced that he was endorsing Saitama and that he was joining the Wolfpack, and then right after that, you saw John Salley come out and say that he only wants to be paid in Saitama to endorse a product. You saw the price pump from what was a low yesterday of, let's call it about 18 all the way up to around 21. That's a pretty tight channel. You saw that there was a big movement right here. Now, why is it that something like that is not the gigantic catalyst to blow Saitama up the chart? Well, the answer is very easy. There are a lot of weak stick Chad bros that are still in here who've been holders for a long period of time that are still looking to get out because, bro, like totally, I already made my money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to just get out. You know what I mean? Like, bro, or whatever it is that they say. I don't know. But I just assume that that's how they talk. Now, the thing is, they're going to sell off and they're going to continue. There's going to be, if you look right here, you see that even though there is some strength, and you see here in the Bollinger Bands that the support channel has it pointing in an upward fashion, and there's a lot of trading going on, you see that this is a lot of profit taking, and Chad Bro's got a Chad Bro, yo. And when you look down here, it doesn't take you very long to find 51 ETH sell from Chad Bro, who's like Chad Broing, but not, Chad Broing. And he's bought out completely. There's no Saitama left in his wallet other than dust. So he still, sadly, counts as a hodler. But as you go down the list, you'll see, here we go, 20 ETH, 27 ETH, bro. Like totally 27 ETH, bro. And this guy still has another 4.9 trillion in Saitama, 94,000 to dump before he is done. But you can see that there's been a cascade. If you go through this, I already went through them. There's a lot of Saitama selling that has been done. So what we're getting is a clearance of the old, what we call, or what you should probably call yard trash. We're getting them out. Here is the same guy that we saw in the first one, doing the same thing. He was just selling off. He was getting out. Adios. Let's get out. Let's get away. We don't want you here anymore. Now it's time to move forward. Now, it's going to take a little bit of time to move forward because with a catalyst, especially a UFC catalyst, especially when you get John Salley coming out in the public lexicon and saying that he wants to get paid in Saitama to endorse a product. He's giving you a wink and a nod, letting you know that he thinks that Saitama is the future. Those are good, and those are what's called bullish signs. But take everything at this point with a grain of salt because the development team still has not delivered a functioning Saitamask. Take that a step further. They haven't developed and they haven't delivered a functioning Saitamask, but they've also announced that Saita Realty would be released in about 3 weeks, which means that we know that within 3 weeks we should have a functioning Saitamask, but we thought that back in November. So there's a long thing here. So before we're going to see a long, sustained, reasonable pump that will change the mind of the Chad Bros, the Chad Bros. Before we see that actual change in the Chad Bros, we are going to have to give them a reason to hold for a longer period of time. And that hasn't happened yet. So when you look at the chart, when you see this, that's what you should be aware of. We are just days away from highs in the fours. We are within a month away from a high in the eights. So the money will flow right back in. We're not out of the woods yet, though. There is a chance that this pattern right here, you're starting to see an uptick and an uptrend. So if you take some sticks out here and you start to pull it out, you're looking at maybe what might be the start of a rally by the end of this. Pretty bullish sentiment, but it's going to take a little time for it to play out. We need a catalyst. We need something other than um, John Salley mentioning it. We need something other than Israel Makhachev. We need something Makhachev. Makhachev. It's going to take me a while to get that name right. Islam Makhachev. I'm going to work on it for today. But it's going to take a while, even with catalysts, to regain some of the trust that was simply lost during this period of time. Once we regain that trust, and what I expect, by the way, when you see this right here, hopefully we should see a tightening channel. If that is the case, then what we've got is a predictable sort of pattern, and we can build off of that. But let's move on. All right, guys, I'm working on this still. Islam Makhachev is his name. It's going to be a while before I can pronounce it the right way, just to get it right. But as you're going down the list here, you're starting to see things develop. You've heard the underpinnings of things happening that are going to be catalysts. However, we're not going to sustain a catalyst until we have a functioning Saitama wallet. Now, if you are not aware, Russ will be on the Sandstorm later tonight. So make sure that you tune in right there, because they are going to be asking the questions that I would have asked, because as you know, or you might know, I've been on their show quite a bit lately. They are kindred spirits, so it's probable that they are going to ask the type of questions that I would have asked. So he is finally agreeing to stand in the line of fire and take those hits, so to speak. So that sounds like a pretty great thing. Now, along with that, Islam Makhachev, you have John Salley. John Salley was one of the bad boys of the Detroit Pistons that used to drive Michael Jordan crazy. So that's a pretty good endorsement from anybody. Never let it be said that Willie D is not still out there making waves. There's a lot of things going on. They're little things. They're underpinnings that are creating something that's leading up to Dubai. Now, if you remember, there were conversations that were being had about Dubai, and that at Dubai there was going to be, at this Dubai Expo, by the way. Remember all the conversations that were going on months and months and months ago as we were leading up to Saitama, that there was a large group of investors that were involved in Dubai that were going to be buying into Saitama around the Dubai event. So there are a lot of things that seem to be moving Saitama back into the positive. But in the end, one thing matters: a functioning Saitama with a functioning swap. That is what matters. That is what's going to start the catalyst, and that is what's going to earn back the trust. Until then, we're just going to see little movements toward that upside. Now, there's a lot of tokens that are waiting, and they've been patient. Lily was not patient, and they moved on. But there are other tokens here that are still being patient, that are waiting for their moment. If we don't produce something fairly soon, they're probably going to move on too, because everybody wants to succeed. And if you're going to provide them with a platform for success, then just do it already. It's not financial advice, but I'm always right.
I'm looking for the good life, good life. Sitting on top of the world, I wanna be shining.